This is the Effing Business Podcast. You ask the questions, we answer.
Welcome back to the podcast. Want to talk about today with you is new tech, using new tech, changing with the tech, with the times. My opinion and my
not even like in a breathe. You're just going to go, here's a podcast, my opinion, boom.
I'm going to start with mine, and then you can go.
All right.
This is how we're going to change it up a little bit. Basically, I think people make a huge mistake, and I think a lot of times older business owners have this issue. Is they get comfortable, right? Like we spoke in the last podcast about their comfort zone, and it happens a lot with tech, right? Because they don't know how to operate it. They get very scared. Technology scares people, and they get very scared of like, yeah, but my Excel spreadsheet works. It's like that was their big move when they were like 30 years old, 40 years old in their business, and now they're 50, and they're like, yeah, I'm not going to another system, or I'm not moving to another system, and they find that it's difficult to transition to more tech, even if it makes sense, even if it makes like financial sense, but also makes sense on production.
Adam Carolla, I think, nails this. He talks about his transition from whatever radio station that he was working at in LA, the big radio, I don't know what it was, to not that, to podcasting. And he said that they came in, I forget why they let everybody go. Okay, and they told, but prior to that, they used to say the numbers. Oh, we had this amount of listeners this month or this time frame. Oh, and then we had like 9 million people on listening online.
Right.
But like they weren't doing anything with it. Right. It was like an afterthought. Oh, by the way, we had like
They want to know what they have online, and that's all they care about.
Correct. So when he left and he's trying to figure out his next move, he's like, well, I keep getting told that we have all these listeners online. There's got to be something there. Now Adam Carolla is seen as the godfather of podcasting, right? So like he took something that was happening kind of by accident, nobody was making an effort, and he's like, wait, there's a great opportunity that no one's jumping on. I'll do what I've already been doing. I can control my brand. I don't have to be married to a radio station and FCC rules and so on and so forth. And I'll go take that brand that I've already built, that I already know has an audience because they're telling me this, and I'll do it myself. Yeah. Right. So like if you don't pay attention to that information, if you don't pay attention to the numbers or to the shifts or trends, your business gets left behind. Look what happened with Facebook. Facebook was really big, and then in came mobile, apps, everything we've done on mobile, and it got huge. Right. Facebook's grew on the back of mobile use. Right. It went from being a really big company to being what it is now because of mobile. Right. So like it didn't invent mobile.
It just morphed to it.
It's just taking the opportunities that are available to it and jumping on that.
So is it really just is new tech really people? It's not so much about tech; it's just people against change in general. Tech being the subject here, but is it just like
relatable change?
Change for them is always difficult, and like tech, it's now even a more scary thing because it's not everyone's in that same mindset of understanding how it works. Like we're pros of continuing to push the limit on the tech and how to make everything easier, web based, everything like that. But when we get these programs and we get these things, it's like, holy shit, there is so much stuff like we have to do here, heavy lifting and change.
There's a scary part to it.
Right.
But I think it's also the people who have been successful. They didn't get there overnight. They're kind of like dance with the one who brung you. They don't understand that if they don't make that shift, somebody else will. Did I say it wrong?
Dance with the one who brung you.
Isn't that the slang term?
Is it who brought you?
Brought you. Did I say brung? I apologize. I know I offended all the.
I could have held it.
Okay, so I think that they're thinking to themselves, I'm not a user of that technology.
Right.
Okay. I don't understand it. Why am I going to go now invest in that area when it's working all here? But they don't understand that there's going to be that shift. And in many cases, by not going to the new technology, they're putting themselves out of business. And you've seen that with all these giant companies. You saw that with Blockbuster. You saw that with Kodak. You saw, I mean, those are giant examples, right? But even on smaller instances, if you're not going to, one, at the very least, technology is going to improve your business, right? Two, if you don't make that shift, you may go out of business, right? And it may not happen overnight. It could take weeks or years or decades.
Correct. Someone else is going to do it, and then you're an afterthought.
Correct.
Blockbuster could have bought Netflix. Yeah. They laughed at people like to go on Saturday night and look on the back walls of Blockbusters and see the new releases. But really, it didn't matter as much once Netflix said, hey, you can get your DVD right away, the next day, and you can now stream it live. And that was the end of Blockbuster. And they could have bought them for $10 million.
I think, look at the companies who only exist as a result of technology. So like Instagram, nobody used Instagram before there was a smart camera phone, right? Like it didn't exist. Look at Amazon. It existed as a result of technology changes. Like it went from being an internet company, so you needed the internet for Amazon. Then they used everything available to them. So how many times have we heard Amazon was the biggest spender on Google, on buying Google ads, right? So they used this technology to push themselves further. Then apps became a thing, right? Now everybody's buying things from Amazon on the app, right? Then streaming apps became a thing. Boom, they're there. So like they keep taking that technology that they're not the ones inventing and using it to their benefit, right? So like that's hard to do for the lay business person because you only have so many resources available to you. But you can, like I love when we go to conferences and we learn things, or I learn things that I didn't even know existed, and they're not even that complicated. Like they're pretty basic things, certain softwares that I could be using in my businesses that will really transform what we do.
Right.
So I got a question. Are you saying in a sense for businesses you have to I guess go the same route as Amazon, like try to be everywhere before your competition, or
No, they're not everywhere before their competition.
they're not?
They're not necessarily there first. When they get there, know they're there.
Streamed before them, right? iTunes, iMusic was there before Amazon Music.
My question was like to try to learn new technology so you can, I guess, be ahead of your competition.
Correct. You see this a lot with apps, right? For example, Gary Vaynerchuk, he goes through all the top free apps every day. The reason why is
Through the App Store.
through the App Store. The reason why is he can look at what's growing. He can see stuff start at 99, make its way up to 50, and so on. It's like, okay, this is catching some usership. Let me start watching this. Let me start playing with this. Let me start using it, right? And once you're there, now he's played with it for 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 months or a year. While it's the next best thing, right? Like I've been using it for a year. I already knew it's ours. I know all the kinks. I know how to put ads on it, and now I have underpriced attention because I've been playing for this thing. I invested in this thing, not money-wise, but time-wise, earlier than the next guy, right? So as a company, Bulldog Adjusters, we were one of the first, I don't want to say one of the first, but we invested heavily in Facebook advertising, right? And now I see a lot more guys doing it because we've been there, right? I see they're saying, oh, they're getting business from it. They're doing something right. I'll copy that. And I'm fine with that. But I think that there wasn't, when we first started, I didn't see an ad for an adjuster, right? And they saw and they copied.
Truth is, I still don't think there's enough adjusters using Facebook. I see them doing a lot of posts, but I don't actually see their ads.
Right.
Do you see their ads?
No. But Amazon they have their platform, right? The selling platform, but from there they continue to grow, and they see what other people are doing. They either buy them or make it better, right? So they could have said, hey, let's buy Netflix, right? They can afford Netflix, but why don't we just make our own and keep everyone in our world, right? They want everything to be labeled Amazon, and that's why they have Amazon Basics, right? Amazon Basics for basically everything. Electronic wires, dry erase markers, because
I think we're going the wrong direction though, because like we already know who Amazon is. We know how big they are. I think for the average business person, I don't think they understand the audiences they could be, or the end consumer they could be opening themselves up to by using technology, understand the systems and the value and efficiency they can be adding, the further reach. I mean, there's so many different directions in a positive way. Technology is going to help you.
Yeah, for production, for marketing, for all across the board. And if you're not willing to do it, you're really shooting yourself in the foot.
Somebody else will.
Yeah.